Welcome to the Devil's Art Club. I am Zeroo. Hello everyone. So today's video is going to be a little bit different than we usually do. We usually post the work progress of the character designs or creature designs that I've done with the help of Zbrush and Photoshop, and I basically upload it as like a time lapse. But in this video, I decided to create a very simple ZBrush guide for beginners. Something that any beginner would be able to understand easily. And I will also try my best to help you guys able to navigate through ZBrush to understand it. Okay, so let's begin. As you can see, I have already opened Zbrush here. So this is what happens when you first open Zbrush, okay? And if you try to use it, this will happen usually. And also when you first start, you might have this material, the red matte cap material. So this is the default, but you can set other materials as the basic startup material. Here it is, the option. You can go here and you can see save as startup material. So if you don't like this red look, you can easily go with any other material you want to. I usually go with this very simple basic material. So this is what you usually see, right? It feels like ZBrush is broken or something happened. That is what I literally felt when I first opened ZBrush. I thought I broke it somehow, or I did something wrong. But don't worry about this. Just go to the light box here, you can see, and then you can see under the project you can see so many different options here, but we'll go with this one first. Under the project you can see so many different options here. If you can slide it to see others, there are so many options. We would usually start with this one. There are so many different basic spares that is available, that is provided by ZBrush. I usually start with this one. I'll show you why. Let's say no, because we don't want to save this, right? So what happens with this is, if we go to this function here, it says polyframe. If we turn it on, we just have to click it. You can see these two dots here. It shows that symmetry is on. You can see it is completely symmetrical. So if I press X, it will turn off the symmetry, and if we need symmetry, we will turn X. Okay, so you can see when I turn on the polyframe, I will turn it off for now. You can see all the lines here, right? It is very nicely low poly. You can see the points here. It is 2000 currently. So with the other ones, we have this one. You can choose any one you want to. No, you can see it is a lot denser than the previous model, and it is 10,000. And I usually recommend starting with low, or if you feel comfortable enough, or let's say you have already good experience of sculpting, then you can start with anything that you would prefer. And there are also a lot of other models. You can see here is a dog. I usually use, you have seen me use these two a lot. This is a female base mesh, and this is a male base mesh that is provided by ZBrush. You can directly use these ones while starting to work on your project. It saves a lot of time. We don't have to spend like 5-6 hours depending on how fast you are at creating a base mesh. We can just directly use it. It's a really good model provided by ZBrush here. This is a female model. You have seen me using these models so many times in my past videos. And this is a male one. You can see this. These are really good models that we can use as base. But if you are someone who is a beginner, or let's say we are just trying to practice, right? I recommend starting everything from scratch. Don't directly use the base mesh for your practice sessions. I recommend using this pairs here and anything else. Here is a cube too, this cube, anything that you will feel comfortable with. I usually start with a spare here if I'm trying to do with anything from scratch, or I'm trying to let's say create my own base maze, or I'm trying to create something that is non-human. But if you have enough experience and you just want to save time, you can directly use these two base mazes that has been provided by Zbrush. Okay, so we have already opened this pair now. Okay, let's turn X to turn off the symmetry. Okay, if we press X, the symmetry will be on, and if we press X again, the symmetry will be off. While using Zbrush, we are going to use the symmetry a lot, but let's turn it off for now. So we have opened it. Okay, as you can see, I'm moving it really easily. I'm using a tablet right now. So if we just press, with our stylus in our tablet, I'm doing nothing. I'm just using the pen on the tablet and just moving around. As you can see, this head is also moving, and you can see there is this floor. It is basically a grid, right? It's like in other 3D softwares like Maya, Blender, anything you are familiar with. It's the same grid. I usually turn it off to have this proper nice clean space, and you have this head. You can use it to see where you are. Like this is in the front right now, so this is our front face, right? It's turning sideways, it's turning backwards, up, down. You can use this to easily navigate it. I think this option is only available from Zeroo 2020. I think right now I'm using 2021. So, and okay, let's see. If you just use your pen or stylus, you can rotate it like this, and if you use Alt, you can you do this, and then yes, with Alt. As you can see, the Alt in the screen, we press Alt and then we can move it around like this. We can move it here, we press it, move it here. If we don't use Alt, we can just rotate it around anywhere we want to, but if we press Alt, we can move it in any location we want to. Okay, so as you can see, I am still pressing Alt, right? And now I'm moving it, and if you leave Alt but the pen is still on the tablet, right, on its position, you remove Alt, and then we can zoom in. It can be quite tricky, especially when you are just beginning. It took me quite a bit of time to properly get used to it. And there are also other options, as you can see here. This is the move. This is the one that we used while pressing Alt, and you can see the zoom option and also the rotate one. And if you, let's say our model is lost, right? You don't know where our model went. Like, where is it? I can't see it anywhere. You can just press F and it will be on the center. And we can actually control this head and just bring it directly on the front, and press F, it will be on the middle of the screen. So let me tell you it again. If you just use the stylus and move it, it will rotate. As you can see, I will turn the polyframe on too. You can see this. It is being rotated, right? The whole model is being rotated really nicely. And also, if you press Shift, as you can see, the red color turned into blue, right? And it shows Shift too. And we can snap. You can look at it. It just snaps right on the front, on the side, on the bottom, on the top. It basically snaps. Right now it's not snapping anywhere, as you can easily tell with the head, but if I shift, it snaps, and it is a lot easier to, why this option is coming? It can easily snap, and if we press Alt, and then we can move it like this. The screen is so slow. We can press Alt and we can move it, and we leave Alt, we can zoom. If you are just beginning, you get confused, you can also just use it, you know, until when you get comfortable to easily use it. Okay, that's it for the basic one, and now we will go through the main ones, the brushes. So if you want to look at the process, all you have to do is, you can see here is the standard option, right? The standard brush. So this is the basic brush that we will get right after opening our Zbrush. So you can just press it. You can see so many different brush options. And if you also press B in our keyboard, this is the shortcut in the keyboard. You can see so many different brushes. And you might be like, oh, there are so many, right? Which one you might use, or which one you might feel is good enough, right? So for when I first began Zbrush, I was also really confused, like I didn't know which one I should be using, or which one is the best one for sculpting or creating anything. So there are few basic brushes that you'll use like 90 to 95% of the time. So the basic brushes are clay builder brush. I will show you. You can just press B and you'll see this one right here, the clay build-up, right? This is what we will use most of the time. And you can see the option here. There is draw size. This is the intensity. You can control it how intense you want to. I'm using a tablet, so we don't really have to use the intensity. You can just control it without pen pressure. So, and also we can press S in our keyboard, right? If we press S, you can see we can directly control it from anywhere we are. Where is it? Anywhere we are on the screen. So this is the clay builder brush. The shortcut is P, C and V. It is B, C and B again. So it's like the name, you know, its name is clay build-up. So it basically builds up clay on top of it. When we use Zbrush or sculpt with any other digital software that you might be using, it's kind of like sculpting traditionally, but with the help of virtual softwares. Like if we add these, I'm just pressing it on top of it. So this is basically like when we are adding clay. And if we press Alt, as you can see Alt on the screen, it removes it. If we just use it normally, it adds the clay. If we press Alt, it will remove the clay like this. It will just remove it. And if we press Shift, as you can see, it is blue now. What it does, it smooths it out like this. We can add clay, but let's say, oh, I don't like this, and we can just smooth it out like this. I can just smooth it. So now this is clay build-up. If we press Alt on any brush, it will go negative. It will work on the opposite direction. So this is the first brush that we will be using, clay build-up. And there is another one, move brush, like its name, you know, it helps to move the vertices. It is BMV, the shortcut BMV, B and M and then V. As you can see on the top here is also the symbol is written BMV. If you forgot it, you can just press B or go in here and then search here. It is written move. So you can just press it if you forgot, you know, the shortcut. So what it does is like its name, and you can also show its, see its icon here. You can basically move it just anywhere. I'll increase the brush size. Just move it anywhere you want to. You have seen me using these brushes a lot, like clay build-up, the move brush, a lot. These are what most of the other artists do use it in like 90-95% of the time. This is what we will be using to create our sculptures in Zbrush. And now we press shift and it just smooths everything out. You can also control the intensity. I'll show you right now. If we press shift, you can see the intensity is completely 100%, right? And if we smooth it, it completely goes away. And if we decrease the intensity and we smooth it, it's a lot more softer. As you can see, if we press it completely 100, it's a lot more like destructive. So it depends on what you are looking for. So just play with it, play with different things. And this is the move brush that we have now discussed: clay build-up and move brush. And now there is another brush that I also really like. It is also like move brush but slightly different. It's the snake hook brush, BSH. Now you press OK. As you can see, snake hook brush, and you can see with its icon. So what it does is, it is also like a move brush, but it kind of creates like this. It keeps on pulling our model, right? With the move brush, right now I'm on the move brush, it just pulls the model on a certain direction. I cannot make it move like this. I can just move it from one direction to other direction. But with the snake hook brush, BSH, okay, we can do this. We can control our model or control a part of our model. But you can see while we are using the snake hook brush, it destroys our topology a lot. And let's turn on the polyframe. When we turn on the polyframe, we can easily see it. It has destroyed all the polyframes here, all the edges. Everything looks like a mess, right? And let's smooth it out. I'll show you. It has smoothened everything now. You can see all the polygons destroyed. If we smooth it, just press shift to smooth it all. And now there is this another function called right here, Sculpt Pro mode. If we add it, wait, I'll first tell you. If we don't use it right now, I'm not using it. I don't use it in most of the things, but I use it in these types of situations, right? Let's say I want to make it long like this, right? But the polygons are destroyed. What we can do is, now we can press it on. As you can see, it is on, and our cursor has also changed the color into slightly bluish purple, right? If we turn it off, you can see it is red, and if I turn it on, as you can see, it is slightly purplish color. So now what happens is, this Sculpt Pro mode automatically applies polyframes, automatically adds vertices or polyframes, anything that we want to say. You can see, but all of it is in triangles. You can see all of them are triangles. It doesn't destroy it, it keeps on adding. If we don't have it on, as you can see, it destroys all the vertices. Like if we have it on, it keeps on building on it. If we increase its size, as you can see, the size of the triangles has also increased. And if we decrease it, as you can see, the size of the triangles have also decreased. So depending on what you are looking for, you can easily use it. Now let's turn off the polyframe, and now let's see other ones. There is the sound of the aeroplane. I guess you guys cannot hear the sound of the aeroplane right now in the background. So there is this another brush also. Its name is Dam Standard. We usually use it to add like sharp details. It is BS, Dam Standard. As you can see, Dam Standard. If you forgot the shortcut, you can just go in here, and it is somewhere. Oh, here it is, Dam Standard brush. You can also use the Sculptis Pro mode with any other brush. So let's turn it off for now. As you can see, because we don't have much polygons here, it is all messed up, right? But in these faces that we have added with the help of Sculptis Pro, it is a lot more smoother, like this. So wait, let's go all the way back. We can easily control it. As you can see, it's like a small animation of our own, but in reverse. Let's go here, and now look at this. So this is called menu shelf. There are so many options you can see, but don't get too lost on these ones. Okay, slowly you will learn all of it. Let's go. There is this option called subtool. This is where it shows all the subtools that we have, and we have geometry. This is also where we will use it a lot. So as you can see right now, ours is quite low poly, right? When I try to use the damp standard brush, you can see it is all messed up now. So what we can do is, there is this option under geometry, we can divide it. Its shortcut is, as you can see, Ctrl D. You can press Ctrl D or directly come in here and just press it. You can divide it different times. So what happens is, let's say this is our square, this is one of our face, right? When we press divide once, it gets divided into 4, and when we press divide again, each of these squares get divided into 4, as you can see, like this. It gets multiplied by 4 each and every time we divide it. And if I divide it again, you see each and every boxes here, they also get divided into 4. So I'm okay, undo. Let's press divide. I have divided it 4 times, and you can see it is 181 and 506. It was 2000, and now it is this. It has increased by 4 times. And now if we use damp standard brush, you can see how smooth and nice it is, right? And we can also easily control it. You can see, let's see if we want to work in our low division, right? We can easily scroll it down, and now we're at low division. What happens is, with the low division on, we can easily, let's snap it in the front, press X, we can easily control it. Okay, it kind of looks like a head now. No, it doesn't look like a head. Okay, now it looks like a head, like this. We can easily control it, right? But when it's a lot, it can be quite difficult sometimes to control our shape. As you can see, there are a lot of bumps and lumps. You can see a lot of bumps and lumps here. So when we're at a very low, we can easily control our bigger shapes, like this. Let's smooth it out with the help of shift. So it kind of looks like a helmet. This is weird. Let's smooth it out. Okay, I'm not going to create a proper head, and this is just like a simple explanation. So okay, this looks like a decent helmet now. Okay, it looks ugly from the back. So okay, this is our job as a 3D artist, right? We have to make sure it looks good from all the different directions. Okay, it looks weird from the top now. We have to be very careful of all the directions. I'm not going to make it look too good, but this is just a simple explanation video. Okay, it looks good enough. So, and also let's see, BCB, right? This is our clay buildup brush. Let's say I want to create eyes, right? Okay, this is our eye here, and this is our nose part. Okay, this guy has a mouth. Okay, this is a weird mouth. Let's remove the mouth. Okay, let's just add the eyes, and I want to smooth it out. Okay, I press shift and I smooth it, and you can see. But let's say I want to remove it, all of it. But if I smooth it at this division, it can be quite difficult for me to remove all of it. but I can easily go on the lowest division and just remove it all. As you can see, let's go to a lower division, remove it. Sometimes this happens. I have completely removed the eye socket, kinda like an eye socket that we created. So we can do this. Division can help you a lot in these types of situation. If we want to make big changes, we can just go here and BMV for the move brush, and we can just make any change we want to. Let's say we want to give it a very triangular shape, okay, a weird, whatever this thing is, we can just do it. And now we can just go to BSH. Okay, now this is our snake hook brush. Let's turn our Sculpt Pro mode, and you can see it is now slightly purplish color, and we can, okay, as you can see, it is written here, the mesh is composed of multiple subdivision levels. Delete or freeze the subdivision level or try again. So what happens is, as you can see, we have so many different divisions, right? We have 4 divisions. So what happens is, when we have multiple divisions, Sculpt mode doesn't work. As you can see, Sculpt mode is disabled. So for this one, what we can do is we can delete the lower one, and we can now add in. As you can see, we can just add in as many as we want to. It will not destroy our polygons too. We can just manipulate it however we want to. And now you can see, I want to make my brush, right? As you can see, the area of my brush, I want to make it bigger than my character. What I can do is shift, as you can see, it shows 1000, right? As you can see here also it is 1000, but you have this option here, it is called dynamic. If we press it, our brush, it increases. Wait, I will show you. Here, dynamic, press it, okay. Dynamic is, you can see it is slightly grayish now, and my brush is like massive now. You can see it is massive. So you can use this option very easily, and now we can make bigger changes. As you can see, because my brush was bigger than the model, when I used the Sculpt Pro, it destroyed everything. In order to add these multiple triangular vertices, it ended up accidentally destroying the front of our something, whatever this is, the front of this thing, because as you can see, the brush is a lot bigger than our model. What we can do is we can slightly decrease it, and we can also do this. We can press Control. As you can see, the color has changed now to slightly yellow, right? Press Control, and you can see now the option mask pen, freehand. When I don't press the Control on, you can see the brush and these dots thing, and when I press Control, it changes the color into yellow. And mask. So you guys already know about the mask, right? Masking, it's kind of like the mask that we usually create in Photoshop or any other software you might be using. It basically, you can see it is freehand right now. There are so many different options. So what freehand does is, let's turn off the Sculpt Pro for now. I will make it smaller so you can see it. You have to keep on pressing Control if you want to use mask. You can see with the freehand we can mask this. So what happens is, now this slightly darker grayish area that we have masked cannot be used. You can see I cannot do anything to it. You know, it is like protected. The masked area is protected, and we can also inverse it. We can press Control and just click outside. Anywhere you can just click outside the model, it inverses it. Now this whitish area is the only thing that we can control, and everything else is protected under it. And there are a lot of other, and as if you want to remove it, just press Ctrl and just drag it. As you can see, I am dragging it. I am just dragging it outside. There are other options too. I usually use these two ones, the freehand and the lasso ones. These are really useful, and you'll also end up using it most of the time. And you already know the lasso tool, right? It's basically like this. You can just control it. There is also a lasso tool in Photoshop. Some of you might have already used it, so you will know about it. You can just mask it and create any weird shape you want to, create anything we want to, and also protect the area. Like I want to protect the head, but also like mess everything else. Because this area has been masked, it cannot be manipulated or changed. And we can press Ctrl and click outside to inverse. Now we can use this one. Okay. I hope you guys understood this Corpus Pro, right? It keeps on adding. Okay, you can see this model is slightly bending this way because we didn't use the symmetry option, right? If we need the symmetry option, we just press X and we can equally control it. But as you can see, our model is not symmetrical. It doesn't work on both angles properly. I mean both sides properly. So let's say I want both of these to be equal, right? Both of these to be mirrored. What we can do is we can go down here in modify topology, mirror and weld. We can press it. Now you can see it has been mirrored. Our whatever this thing is has been mirrored exactly, and we can easily control it now however we want to. Okay, this is weird, but let's see. We have subdivision. Let's say we have 3 divisions, right? It doesn't matter how many you have. Let's say we have 2 divisions right now, right? So when we try to mirror and weld, this function cannot be applied to a mesh with multiple subdivision levels. What happened is we cannot mirror our model which has multiple subdivision. What we can do is either we can delete it, right, and we can mirror it. But let's say we don't want to get rid of our subdivision, right? We want both our lower division and also our higher division. So what can we do? We can go up here in the G plugin. As we can see, there are so many options here too. We can go in the G plugin. There is subtool master right here, and also mirror. Where is the mirror? Oh, here is the mirror. We can press mirror. It's on the X mode, in X axis. Merge into one subtool. Let it be. We don't have to change any of these. We'll just do this and okay. Okay, it looks weird, but it has been mirrored. So whenever we have subdivision on, we won't be able to use this. So we can just go to our G plugin, subtool master. We can use mirror in this option. Let's delete it. I don't really need the subdivision for this one, so I'll just press the mirror. As you can see, what happened when we just use the mirror and weld, right? This area is being mirrored to this area. As you can see, the ear thing is lowered, right? This is higher, and there is also this shape out here. So when we mirror it, this area is mirrored to this area, right? But let's say we have division on, and if we use the G plugin and then we go to mirror, okay, what happens is it mirrors the opposite way. This area is mirrored to this area. Let's say we don't want this area to be mirrored, right? We just want this area. What we can do is we can go down in the deformation here, and we got the mirror function. We got 3 different mirrors, so it might be a little bit confusing. So for this mirror, what it does is this function cannot be applied to a mesh with multiple subdivision. So this also cannot be used with multiple subdivision. So let's just delete it for now, and you can see mirror, right? It just mirrors it. It flips it kinda, and if it is flipped, and wait, it again mirrored it in a weird way. Well, it's fine, you understood, right? You understood what I was trying to say. So if we press mirror and weld here, it mirrors from this direction to this direction, right? But if we want this direction to be mirrored, we can just do this. It has changed, and now if we press mirror and weld, this direction has been mirrored to this direction. Okay, so there are a lot of things that we need to learn about Zbrush. I mean, there are like this so many different functions. There are so many different menus, so it can be quite confusing at first, right? So if you are very beginner, don't worry about any of these things, okay? Don't worry about it. The most important thing is the lightbox, you know, where we select our project, where we select our models that we want to use. Let's say we want to use this dog model here, we can just use it. I'll turn off the grid for now. And the most important is our brushes. The most important brushes that we will use most of the times are, I'm going to do a small revision before we end this class. So the most important brushes that we would end up using are the clay buildup brush. Let's turn off the Sculptus Pro. BCB, that's the shortcut, it adds it, and if we press Alt, it removes it. And then the another brush is the move brush, BMV. It moves it, as you can see. Okay, we can make its butt higher, break its neck a little bit, or maybe we can do this. You know that dog which has this weirdly long nose. I've seen it, some videos of it on the internet. I think it looks so weird. It's a little bit long, like this weirdly long face. Okay, now this is the move brush, and now BSH. This is the snake hook brush. If we turn on the Sculptus Pro, we can add in our geometry automatically. And then the other option, the other brush, the BDS. Okay, with the BDS, it's the dance standard brush. We can add small details to it, like this. If we press Alt, we can bring it out. So Alt is just the opposite. In normal, as you can see with the dance standard, it is going inside, right? We are carving in the shape, and if we press Alt, it brings it outside. So we have learned about the very simple process, how to navigate through Zbrush, and about mirroring, simple division, mirror and weld, and the soft tools. I'll show you. You can keep on increasing it up to 24 here. As you can see, we can increase its length up to 24 subtools. That means if we have 24 different subtools, we can view it all together, and we can make it small. And I will also show you how to add. You can see this option append. You can press it. There are so many very simple primitive shapes, right? Here is the one sphere. As you can see, a second one has been added. If we append a cube, this cylinder, this cone, it keeps on adding, and we can manipulate anyone that we want to. Right now I will delete this one. Okay, delete whatever. I accidentally duplicated it. There is this duplicate option, and if we press anything like this pair, we duplicate it, it just duplicates it. So let's delete it. If we just press simply OK, it will keep giving us this option, right? If we press always OK, keep this note until next restart, it doesn't give us that same notification. Just delete. And now we have two different subtools, right? Just imagine we have like 30-40 different ones. If you are working on something that has a lot of separate pieces, maybe you are creating like a mechanical robot or anything that has a lot of smaller pieces, it will be difficult. Let's say we have so many different models, right? It will be very confusing to go in and to see where is that small model that you want to work in, right? It can be very confusing. So what you can do is, right now I'll just show it with the two models on. We can press Alt and we can press this one, and let's change the material to basic material, and let's also turn this polyframe on so you can see which model is actually being selected. Right now this pair is being selected, right? If I go here and select the dog has been highlighted. But if there are so many different models and you are confused like which one is it, right? So what we can do is, I'll turn this off for now. We can just press Alt. We can press on this model. Just click on the model. Now this has been selected. For now I'll use the move brush. As you can see, I can move this one. But the dog, I cannot move the dog because it has not been selected. So I can press Alt. I can press this tail thing. And now this has been selected. Now I can control this, but I can't control this one. So you can easily exchange between any soft tool you want to. So okay, this is also done. So this video is for someone who has just started their Zbrush or just opened the Zbrush, right? If you are confused or anything, so this is a very simple beginner's Zbrush guide for someone who has just opened and started to use Zbrush. For someone who feels confused how to navigate Zbrush or where to start. So this video is for you guys. Okay, this looks weird. Wait, let's give it another wings too. Okay, now it looks like a weird bird that is trying to fly. Okay, it is flying now. Our bird, wait, let's press Alt. Oh wait, no, that's not Alt, that's Control. Let's press Alt. Okay, our bird is flying now. So you can easily control it with Alt, control its movement. You can just rotate it simply with your tablet or your stylus pen. If we press Alt, we can move it. And right now I'm pressing Alt. I'm also holding my pen, right? And while holding my pen, if I release the Alt button, I can zoom in and zoom out. So if you feel confused, you can also go in here. This is the move option. This is the zoom in, zoom out. This is the rotate function. But let's say you have lost the model, like you don't know where it is. You can just press F, or you can also press, here it is, frame, right? Frame and F, they are literally the same thing. So frame, as you can see, and if we press F, it brings our model in the center. So that's it, everyone. So today's class is over. I hope all of you students were able to understand and enjoy this very simple Zbrush guide, a very simple introduction to Zbrush. I hope all of you are doing good and you were able to understand uh, the things that I just taught you. And I hope you guys don't get too intimidated because there are so many options in Zbrush. There are so many technical features that Zbrush has that even I don't know, and I also haven't used a lot of them. So you don't need to learn all of these functions. We just need to learn some of the basic ones that will help us complete our work. So don't get too intimidated. Wait, I don't know how to pronounce it. Intimidated. Whatever. Don't get too much of that, whatever I couldn't pronounce. And just take good breaks, take care of yourself, and there are also so many good Zbrush guide videos that you'll find on the YouTube, on the internet for free. That is how I learned, how I started to learn Zbrush first. There are so many good artists. You can just type in Zbrush guide for beginners, and there are so many different videos by great artists which are better explainers than me, who can make you understand Zbrush a lot better than I can do it. So you can just go and watch all of those amazing videos out there by those amazing artists. And I hope you guys enjoyed this class. So all of you, my students who have been participating in this class, I hope you are doing good, and I hope you keep improving and keep being better. I hope you keep growing as an artist and as a person, and have a good day.